I'm talking a little bit about my journey, how I went into digitization. I love to teach, I always love to teach. And here's my journey, how it all began. It was always about, I love teaching and I want to empower others to teach. And I was always looking for how to empower people for mathematics. That's my lovely topic. And this actually is a picture which was sent to me by a mother, a happy mother, which sent me the letter. I had to learn with my kids, and thanks to free videos, we were able to learn together. And look, she was animating this. It's not the Superman sign. It's the wonderful mathematician number pi, which she put on my front and my hat on the Superman costume. So how does it come that a mother sent me this picture? Here was my beginning. It was about 2011, where I was thinking about, I was giving lessons on site, very classic, on site. And this guy on the left is from Germany. He's a professor for mathematics. He recorded his lessons early in the 70s, 80s, and put it on television. It's like today using YouTube and all those tutorials, but he early on used television as recording his lessons. And I said, oh my God, in 2011 there was the early stage of YouTube. What about recording my lessons, classic, as a video and put it on YouTube to share it with the world? Don't know what happened. So I said, I don't want to do the lesson in 1 hour. I put those tiny little nuggets, like 5 minutes tutorials. You know that you have a question in math. What is the multiplication of fractions? Just do me this little favor and tell me, how do I multiply this? And I said, okay, put a camera on. That was my early stage on digitization, and record where I'm doing the lesson on my board. And it is this board in 2011 was non-digital. It was only a whiteboard, putting a camera on, thinking about do the lesson and use YouTube to share it with the world. Don't know what happened. So I put it online on YouTube and thought about what will be the comment down below on YouTube. And I don't know if you know comments on YouTube. Usually comments are not thank you, I fell in love with math. Suddenly I understand math. And that was my first experience. I thought, oh my God, just with sharing math tutorials on YouTube with the world, people comment down below, I fell in love with math and I understand math. So it was no magic. It was just recording my tiny little lessons and share it with the world. So I thought, oh, this could be, as an addition to the traditional lesson, a possibility to see what happened. So with the years, not only students sent feedback to me that they fell in love with mathematics and understand it, teachers sent me feedback that they said, oh, this is nice. Using tutorials as an addition to the classical lessons in the after school, I don't know what to do, so I say, go to YouTube. There are some other men and women who are explaining math. So if you have a question, if you didn't understand it in the lesson, watch the video. And it's nothing new. Today, perhaps you know Khan Academy. Salman Khan did it in 2007, 8, 9. He shared his videos. More and more people used YouTube with tutorials to share it with the world. And that was an easy use of technology, producing videos, sharing with the world, using YouTube, and learning from feedback. What are the students saying? What are the teachers saying? What are you missing in the traditional lesson? What can we do? How can we optimize it? So social media, at the beginning, it was all about sharing cat videos and unboxing and doing some hair stuff. And now it's really about good content, mathematics, physics, chemistry, etc., etc. And I use every social media platform, not only YouTube. There is Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. And what can you do on these social platforms? You can share knowledge, and you can learn from feedback. So you can build the future together with the feedback, and that was a great possibility not only to reach out to students, but to reach out more and more to teachers and get in touch with the teachers and say, so what can we do together? And this is a picture of me visiting Max Mettelmann. This is a teacher of physics and mathematics in Germany. And he said, oh, I was inspired by what you are doing there. So he said, I take my class and say, let's begin to produce video tutorials. So I don't know how and what to do, but he said, I buy a camera and let's think about what can we do together. And together with his class, they started to record physics tutorials. And this is a picture where they have vacation and free to will, his students come to school to produce videos with the teacher, and together they have fun. Now they have they have cameras, they have a sound system, and they use it to learn together, to use technology to, on the one hand, produce physics tutorials and mathematical tutorials, but also to learn during recording the lessons. So you have a high learning effect when you begin to produce tutorials. And they share it with the world. They use YouTube, they use Instagram, Facebook, etc. To share it with the world, to inspire other teachers and other students to use this stuff. And Max Mettelmann, this teacher, is one example. I'm visiting a lot of teachers in school and universities. And by the time I was talking with them and asking them, so this is a good way to use technology. It's the first way to learn on a passive way, produce tutorials, shares with the world. Somebody is sitting somewhere in the world, is consuming the tutorial, is happy because he is understanding math or something else. And I talked to him and say, and what are you doing, especially through the pandemic time, to be in interaction together with your students? And he said, yo, there is something missing on this way, because I need some more technology to get in interaction with my students. That was the time I came together with ViewSonic, because I said, okay, I have a non-digital whiteboard. I can put a camera in front of me, record the lessons and share it with the world, but I can't interact with the students I'm reaching out. So monthly I have about 1.5 million users. For me it's great as a German guy, because all my lessons are in German. And I can help so much people, but I wasn't able to interact in a live session on a smoothly, easy, intuitive way. So I said, okay, let's test something. There is not this one solution how the future of education looks like. It's all about testing and growing together in interaction with feedback, how we can do it. So I said, all right, put me this viewboard into my office and I want to test it. And I'm not good at technology. I'm good at explaining math. And I just want to focus on helping people with math lessons. So the camera technology made it easy for me to produce tutorials, and now I want to have technology which is making it easy for me to get in interaction live with my students. So I said, okay, I test it, I put it down and I switch it on, and it is very intuitive to use. And here you see me on the left side using the board to produce my tutorials. I have the camera in front of me, and now I can use this board to share this board with the world by sending an easy code to someone who is watching my live session, and I say, okay, now you can interact with me on the board in the meantime. So I can do some lessons in mathematics, and I say, did you get it? Did you understand it? And somewhere over the world says no, and he's writing on his tablet, and with the My Viewboard software, he says, no, here at this point, I don't understand it. And I can go on my board and say, okay, you missed this. And he says, oh, okay. And this is the live interaction which was missing because I always just only produced videos and shared it with the world. And now I can go into these live sessions. Here on the right side, I'm in the live session. Everyone is using it on which device ever he want to do it. It's very intuitive to use. And I said, oh my God, it's so easy. And now when I'm on a live stream and there are thousands of people listening to me doing the math lesson, I can say, okay, randomly who has some questions, and I can easily send him a QR code and he is, or a link, and he is stepping in and we can do the live sessions. And when we talk about the future of learning, hybrid learning, what does the classroom of the future looks like? Some are in the classroom on site, some are somewhere over the world at home. We have to bring them all together in an easy, intuitive way. And for me as a teacher, it has to be very easy to interact. I want to focus on my math lessons, and I don't want to think about how to push a button, how to do it. I just want to start, and I just want to be in an easy connect with my students. And from the beginning, it was very easy for me, and all the lessons I'm doing, the students give me the feedback, the teachers give me the feedback, oh, I also used this, and it was from the beginning so easy to use, so intuitive, and I can focus on my lessons. Here on the right side, you see teachers visiting my office. I say, hey, I'm testing. I don't have this one solution how the future looks like. Come to my office, test it, and everyone from the beginning has fun because everyone is saying, hey, I switch it on, it's easy to use, I can do something. They put their smartphones and say, hey, look at how easy it is, share it with the world. And I say, hey, do the testing, send me your feedback, what is missing. And again, this is the future, not this is the one solution, but learning together, growing together, and reshaping education together. On the left side, it's me using videos. For example, this is one of my videos because I get a lot of feedback that there are YouTube tutorials, but in the mass it makes no sense how they use it in school right now, because they are just only do the playing of the videos, but not really interacting with it. What can I do with this YouTube tutorials? Just watching passively the YouTube videos is nice to have, but it's not really an integration in the classroom of the future. So I'm testing a lot of doing some examples here on the left side, then putting on my YouTube tutorial and say, at this point, now you have to think about doing this on this way, and I do a screenshot of what I'm doing there, sharing it with my students. It's very easy getting the feedback. Oh, that was the one thing I was missing, because YouTube, for example, only is tracking how long do you watch the video, but not where do you do the break, where do you have a special question, where can you do an add-on like a special example. And so I'm testing on the board, what can we do together. And when I do the live stream, I say, hey, send me your feedback. Is it okay for you that I implement some examples? What is the missing point? Where do you have some special questions? What can we do? And again, together with the feedback, I can develop some new lessons interactively with my students. So this is not the future for every teacher. Not every teacher has to be online, has to do live sessions, have to reach out to millions of people. But as a feedback from Germany, more and more teachers are writing me, hey Daniel, I began producing tutorials for biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics. I said, great, what are you doing with it? And they say, I share it on YouTube, on Instagram, on Snapchat, etc., etc. I said, great, do more of it. Then is the question, oh, and I want to do my sessions with my class online. What can we do? I say, here's an easy way to do it. Come to my office, do it from here. And if you say, hey, it's so intuitive, it's so easy, do you want to do it in your classroom? And they say, yeah, there is a problem. I have to go a lot of ways in my school saying I want to do it. And they say, I don't know. But more and more teachers say, this reglementation. I say, for me as a teacher say, now I do it. And I say, yes, because you're doing nothing wrong. You share it with the world, you reach out to a lot of people, and I say, I'm so glad that there is not only me or some creators on the internet, but really teachers from school who are at the basic point in school who say, I use producing tutorials, I use using the viewboard, I use going in interaction and sharing my experience with what we learned, learning lessons, what went wrong, what can we do for the future to reshape education, and only together we can really reimagine education, because thinking about, hey, I'm a startup and I do this for me and I have this technology and I don't know how it goes. Go to the teachers, go into the school, work with them together, and that is what we want to do. My team and me to give all teachers access to my channel, to reach out, to share their feedback, and only together we can reshape it. So here's a visit on a university where there are students who want to become a teacher, and I say, hey, everyone here, what are you doing? How do you think? How do you want to reshape the future? And they say, we don't know the exactly way where we go, but only together we can do it. And I say, all right, tell me what to do. How can I help? How I can give you access to my channels? Please, if any one of you is the next Salman Khan, the next Daniel Jung in Germany, the next whoever creator in the world who is sharing his experiences, do it, go for it, and only then we can learn with your feedback. And yeah, this is a great time to live, to have access with all those tools. 20 years ago, I had no phone which can easily record a session. I had no access to this intuitive boards to use to do live sessions, to interact with the world. And I think with Corona, it was this effect, oh, we have to do something because we don't know what will happen in the future if, I mean, now here people again are on site and it's magic what here is happening to see all these people, but the future is hybrid, and to do it intuitively we have to think about working more together, sharing our feedback and sharing our knowledge, our experiences with the world. And that's why I'm saying use these social media platforms to share it with the world, because a lot of the teachers say, I don't know if I should share my failures. I say, especially the failures are the ones you have to share, because then more and more come together and say, hey, I had this failure too, but here's my solution. And that's the power of technology to find a way to go in the future and to have a great time where in shorter terms more and more is happening. Exponential growth, I would say, as a mathematician. So we have to be in a lifelong learning future, be able to have always access to great content and to great people who are teaching me new stuff. And it's not over like 20, 30 years ago where you say, hey, there's a point, I have learned enough, and now I do my job for decades. Now it's a time for learning lifelong, and I'm happy to be on this teacher side online in the internet and shared with millions of people and sharing not only the content but all the stuff I do with corporations, with ViewSonic, to say, hey, here's a great way to have access to learn together intuitively, and you see all those happy students who say, wow, this is really fun, because learning at the end of the day is a very emotional process, and not only sitting passive in front of a board and watching only YouTube tutorials, but going in interaction and having fun with people, and have the most important thing you need. And now I'm a little bit excited, because for me it's so magic when parents write me letters, and I've never seen those parents. They only know me from YouTube, passively watching my YouTube tutorials. What a great time it is to go in interaction in live sessions with them, and have this experience of this fire you have here on site, to have it also during live sessions, whatever. And so everyone who is interested in using it, go to the board, do it intuitively, produce videos, put it together. If you have input, if you have new ideas, send me feedback, send ViewSonic feedback, and go outside. And so you are a part of reshaping the future, and I'm really glad to be alive in this time. And now if you have any questions, go for it, and I hope I can give you some little input, and perhaps we see us online in the future. Thank you.